Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to crack on with the painting of the insides. So we've done the engine bay, all in there is done. So now we're going to crack on with the boot. I start the video straight into what I've already taken off the worst of the paint and the flakiness and all that. I haven't bored you with grinding and making a racket with that. So sort of jump in sort of in the middle. Partly because I forgot to start filming, and partly because it'd be boring anyway, so that's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. And I'm all cleaned off, it's probably the wrong word. I've got all the loose rubbish off in here. What I'm thinking in here, because I will be using the boot. If we take the car away, we'll be checking luggage and what have you in the back here, and spare wheels and all sorts. So what I'm thinking is coat of epoxy, seam seal it, then a coat of Gravitex, then a coat of white. Because it'd be a bit tougher, and the Gravitex will help cover up all the nastiness that's in there, and it'll give a better finishing of what painting white over that will look like, I think. Righto, we're all masked off in here with the 4 billion holes that are in this parcel shelf. I'm glad I didn't put any holes in my firewall now. All up in there. Nice coat of the sticky epoxy stuff. So I think I will go with the Gravitex over that, so leave that set off for a day or two and then blast it with some Gravitex. Righto, we are next day now, and that's all gone off nicely, all covered fairly nicely. It's a little bit difficult to get the coverage on that into there, but it's not too bad. There's something on there at least. So my plan now is to get the Gravitex in there and cover up the floor area in around these areas here, which will do two things. It'll make it a bit tougher and give a little bit of sound deadening to it. And across that back panel there as well, mostly for a bit of help with a bit of sound deadening, because the way the Gravitex works, it'll work quite nicely at that as well. I see you guys are happily chilling in their hot bath, or waiting to be used up. And if I've got enough, I might just chuck some in those areas as well while I'm at it. Lovely. That's got on quite nicely. Get some light on here so you can see. Yeah, so happy with how that's gone on there. That's covered up all the nastiness. Covers a multitude of imperfections. There's this Gravitex, to be fair. So I'll just leave that go off now, and then we can chuck some white over it. I wonder why it's done that. It's only there. The rest of it's okay. I've left it 2 days before I've put the new paint on it. But here it has reacted horribly. So back to square one, scratch all that off and start again. Bother. Seems to have reacted with the straight through to the base, through the weld through primer, which has been on there for a year or so since I last did the floor. Goodness knows. That is strange. And just there were just a couple of bits. The rest of it seems to be okay. I wonder if there's something different about the I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I used Halford's Weld Through Primer when I painted this base, when I did this base and put this in, this floor, this boot floor. It only appears to be on the boot floor that a reaction has happened. Well, let's get into a scraping marathon then and do something with it. It definitely looks like it's the original coat of primer which has softened back up again. This only seems to have become a problem since I put the Gravitex over the epoxy. This is weird. Oh, the deep joy. The beauty of this stuff is it patches up very easily because they've got a lumpy finish to it anyway. So hopefully that'll go off and it will stay tidy. I've chucked a little bit of white over here, but very thinly, just to get a cover on. There's a bit of runs there, but it's the paint. I mixed the paint up way too thin, so those runs you can't even feel them. I was just potching about because I wanted to do something. But that's gone on okay so far. So hopefully that'll set off overnight and behave itself. It's strange how it's just happened there though, because the rest of it is fine. And they must have had some sort of contamination down there that I wasn't aware of. I've also been potching about with some sound deadening type stuff from sort of cheap cheerful stuff from eBay. Not sure whether it's the right product for me yet or not, so I've just put a couple of bits up, one piece there, one piece in there, to see what it's like. It's a bit thick, I think. My intention was to use it for the floors, but I think it's a bit thick for the floors, so I might try some. I'd like Dynamat, but it's quite expensive. But I have seen another product called Dodo Mat, which I might try out. There we go, that's looking nice and dandy in there now. That's got a couple of coats in there. Hopefully that'll stay like that now, not wrinkle up. So it's gone on nice enough, no runs, no nastiness happening that I can see. That's good enough for a boot. See what I mean about the, not show up on the camera so much, but the stipply finish, I think works well in here as well. It'll give it be a bit tougher. I intend to put like a rubber lining down anyway, but it'll just be a bit tougher for the boot area. Right, happy days. That has all gone off in there. It's still shiny, not that I'm particularly worried about that in the boot. But most importantly, there's no reactions gone on. It's all set off nicely, no issues or problems. So the boot is now painted. There we are, all done, all white, all tough, all set off, and happy with that. It's not perfect, but it's a boot, and it's going to get battered and be covered. I'm going to put, intend to put a lining in here anyway, and not sure what I'm going to do with the sides there yet. They're going to be a battery box over there somewhere, possibly a spare wheel or some sort of smaller wheel there, just to have it as a backup. Obviously the petrol tank's going to be over here, so the only actual bit that's going to be sort of visible is going to be this bit, and I'm going to put those sort of rubber liners down over that, hopefully. So yeah, happy with that. Another step forward. I can now start building the car back up again. I've just got a little bit of work left to do, which will be the next video, I guess. We'll go way back over here. Got to finish off the door, stay open, finish off the dashboard. I was in two minds, and a few suggested that a glove box would be a good idea, but I've been racking my minds and racking my brains, and I can't really see a tidy way of doing it. So I'm going to weld that hole up over there, which is from when it was left-hand drive, and a couple of bits and bobs, and tidy that dash up, and then get some nice satin black and paint that up. That'll be the next video.